going forward, these guys would come back with a lot of intelligence about what was happening in North Vietnam and defensive structures and things. And I don't know what we're supposed to do with it. but we learned a lot. Any other questions? Yes.
Married?
No, I was not married at the time, and I'm glad I wasn't. Yes, sir.
Sir, were you there when Jane Fonda came through, and it was true that she was handed papers with names of the prisoners on it?
Yes, I was there, and no, that is not true. That's an internet lie. Okay? And when things like that get in the internet, you can't ever get rid of it. But no, that never happened. That doesn't mean she was a good person. She was not. Question all the way to the back. I'm sorry, I can't hear that.
How did you endure inside
How
the
did you use
prison?
humor?
How did you use humor? Laughing, your,
How did we,
yeah. Did you use
where did we find our humor in uniform? Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good question. We did find things to laugh about, and when we did, using our communication system, we would send little funny stories around to other people. I mean, there's funny things that happen, and let me just give you one example. The Vietnamese forced us to bow to them whenever we greeted them. So if a guard opened a door, we were forced to do a full-length bow to them. Okay, and when they closed the door, the same thing. If you went to an interrogation, you had to do a full-length bow to the interrogator, and we didn't like that. That was part of their brainwashing attempts against us. And so I was in a cell with 3 other prisoners, 4 of us, and we were getting tired of that. And the guards did not speak English, and so whenever we bowed to them, we would say "F you." I'm not going to, in the interest of decorum, I'm not going to say the word, but we would say "F you." Well, that went on for a while and made us happy, but then one day the guard came to the cell and gave me a wrist chop signal, which meant put on your long sleeve shirt and long pants. You're going to an interrogation. And we were 4 lieutenants in that cell. By data rank, I was the senior ranking one. That's why I got pulled out. They did not recognize our rank or data rank unless they wanted something. So I went to an interrogation, and the interrogator, English-speaking interrogator, said, "My guard reports to me that you are being impolite to him." And I said, "No, that can't be true. We would never do that." And he said, "No, my guard reports to me you're being impolite." Well, I'd been there long enough and listened to propaganda, communist propaganda, so long that I learned how to throw it back in their face, and saving face was a big deal for these people. And so I told him, we would never be impolite to your guard, because your guard is an instrument of the Vietnamese people, the very people that provide us the clothes on our back, the roof over our head, the food in our bellies. It's the humane and lenient treatment of the wonderful Vietnamese people that allows us to be alive today. So how could I ever be impolite to your guard? Well, this just blows that guy's mind, because he wants so bad to have an excuse to beat the crap out of me. That's why I was there, and I wasn't giving him that excuse. But he kept repeating, my guard would not lie to me. And finally I said, I think I understand the problem. I said, your guard doesn't understand English, does he? No. You, on the other hand, have an excellent comprehension of the English language. And go, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, and you know that there are certain words and phrases in the English language that sound very much alike, that your guard would never understand, but you would. And he said, yes. And I said, we are so appreciative of your guard and the humane and lenient treatment that we're receiving from the Vietnamese people that when we bow to him, we're saying thank you. And I said, you can see how your guard would confuse FU and thank you. But you, on the other hand, know exactly what I'm saying. He said, yes, yes. Good. I will inform my guard that you are saying thank you to him. You may return to your cell. So I got up off my stool. I did a full-length bow to the interrogator and said, F you. And he said, you're welcome. So yes, there was humor in uniform, and when something like that happened, we'd tap on the wall and it'd spread all around the whole camp, and everybody got a big kick out of it.
Sir,
Yeah.
when did you hear the first rumor or fact that you were going to be released?
Oh, okay.
Officially,
yeah.
through their channel.
Yeah, when the bombing started up again in North Vietnam, you know, the peace negotiations were going on, and they weren't going very well, and so Nixon ordered the bombing to resume. They took half of us at the time, about 200 of us, and evacuated us out of Hanoi and took us 100 miles north to the Chinese border to a little prison camp there in the Kars Mountains called Cao Bang. And we were there for about a year, I guess, and one day the guards came, and we got no news up there, right, no news. One day the guard came to our prison building and opened up all the cells and opened the door to the building and let us out. And so 200 prisoners all out, and we're wondering what the heck's going on. And the guards just got this sad look on their face and their heads down, and they just walk away. Well, this went on for 3 days, and finally our SRO requested a meeting with an English-speaking officer, and he asked him, what's going on? I mean, why do your guards, why the sad looks, and why did they open their doors and just walk away? And the interrogator said, oh, haven't you heard? Yeah, right, haven't we heard? Yeah. He said, the B-52s bombed Hanoi, and we fired everything we've got at them. We have nothing left. We no longer have the means to exist. You have won the war. That, yes, you won't find that in print anywhere. No. But that's what happened. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Two questions here, I guess. After the raid, did they treat you better, the prisoners, any at all?
Oh, after the Son Tay raid?
Yes, after the raid, did they in any way say, oh, we can be penetrated here and...
Yeah. The treatment had actually started improving before that. When Ho Chi Minh died in I guess September of '69, a change of regimes, and they started treating us. Well, time to go home. All right, all right, and so yeah, so treatment had already started to improve, but the biggest impact of the Son Tay raid is it put the entire prison population into one spot in a group of rooms in communication with each other in the Hanoi Hilton, and yeah, that did more for morale than anything else.
And the second question
Yeah.
here is, some of the movies that were made, like Hanoi Hilton and
Yeah.
all that, never watched them really, except flipping through the channels and all that. When they made those movies, did they interview any of the POWs or?
Yes, yes, they did.
And is most of that factual? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, they're very, very factual, yes, yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah,
good to know.
yeah, yeah. And by the way, one of those films received an Academy Award.
Uh-huh.
I think it was called Return with Honor. There we go, there we go. Yeah, I think it was called Return with Honor. It received an Academy Award for something, but that film was never shown in U.S. movie theaters because the U.S. movie industry would not allow it.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's called Return with Honor. Yep. Yes, sir.
Sir, when did you get sprung?
When?
When
February.
did you get sprung?
February 18th, 1973. Any other questions before we go to bed?
One last one here.
Yes.
Were you in a prison population with Ed Leonard?
Yes, I was, yeah.
Okay, because he was an NKP flyer, yeah?
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
NKP,
yeah.
matter of fact, I think he was from the 602nd, if I remember right.
Okay.
But 68, 67, I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Was there, I read that there were 17 people from Laos released, is that true?
There were, I don't know the number, but yeah, there were a number of prisoners that were captured in Laos. There were a number, mostly enlisted, that were captured in South Vietnam and transported north. There were also several that strayed across the border into China and shot down and held captive by the Chinese until the end of the war. They were also released.